Ooh, yes. Now it says live on Facebook.
Okay, we're getting there. Redirecting. I'm just waiting till it pings up for me that says it's recording and on Facebook.
Ooh. Jane Scanlon is now live, it says.
Right. Right. And here we go. We are live. So what I've got to do is I've just got to turn down my volume on my computer because there's a little bit of feedback. But can I hear you, Carole?
Can you hear me,
darling?
1, 2, 3. I'm talking.
No, I can't. So that's a bit of a bummer. Talk to me.
Okay.
Again,
how about now?
Yeah. Okay then, Carole. So welcome to
Thank you.
Welcome to Coffee with Jane. So what we're going to do, I've got so much feedback going on in my ear. This is going to be quite difficult for me. So we'll have to figure out that one for the next one.
Oh gosh, you're hearing yourself, are you?
Anyway, so how did you tell me a little bit about yourself first of all, Carole?
Okay.
And how you started on this path and how you got to be an access conscious bars practitioner.
Okay. Well, as your viewers now know, I'm Carole, and I'm a complementary therapist. And access consciousness bars is just one of the things I do. I also do hypnotherapy, EFT, similar to you, and something called matrix re-imprinting.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I love that. I love them all, in fact. And I started on this path many moons ago, really, when a job that I was doing, which I absolutely adored, was in jeopardy. And I wondered, what else can I do? And I was introduced to hypnotherapy at that stage. Hypnotherapy then led me into doing energy work, as in Huna, Reiki, and then I think it was somewhere like 2012, I got introduced to Access Consciousness, the bars, and lost contact with it for a couple of years. And then two years ago, I was reintroduced to it. And it was almost like coming home. It was like, why have I forgotten this for those few years? I'm back with it now. And I absolutely enjoy that it's energy work. It's hands-on things, hands-on processes. And it's a process which I find really works for everyone.
Good. Yes. I've sorted out my double hearing thing as well.
That's good to hear.
That's good, because it's finding it very difficult to concentrate on both of us speaking and repeating ourselves in my head. And actually, it's quite a good link into what bars does, isn't it? Because we get that overthinking, over-analysing, over-chat in our heads. And guess what? We can't concentrate or focus, can we? It was exactly what was happening in my ears by hearing us talking, but also us talking on Facebook Live as well. And it's just a bombardment of the senses, isn't it?
Getting that overload, and
So
you can't think when you've got that overload.
No. You can't think, you can't listen, you can't see things that are right in front of your face.
Because everything's just kind of screaming at you.
So that's a little bit about your journey and how you have come to where you're at now. Just for people that are watching or don't know anything about my journey, I'll just say a little bit about mine, and then
Yeah.
I've got some lovely questions to ask you about how you can help the members on here, and kind of top tips and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my journey, my real kind of pivotal point started about 10 years ago. So I'm going to be 40 this summer. So yay! So when I was 29 and I was coming up to 30, I was like, oh my God. Everything kind of looked rosy. I was engaged to a successful guy, very nice. We were living together. We had our wedding planned. I was in a good job. I had did I have a company car then? No, I was in the NHS. So I'd left my company cars behind from IT days, and I was in the NHS and I was doing really well. I was bringing back a lot of money every month because I was doing loads of overtime and stuff like that. But I was not happy. And I looked around my life and I was like, do I like any of it? Like, really, do I love any of it? And the answer was no. I was like, I don't know, at least 2 stone overweight than I am now. I was doing shift work. I was working weekends. I was doing 12 hours. Ugh, horrible. I drank too much. Did drugs like every time I went out, did coke or pills or whatever, and drank loads. And my 29th birthday was coming up and I was like, this has got to stop. My 30th was coming up. This has got to stop. Life has got to change because this is a shit life. So 30th birthday came. It was like all the other nights out, parties in, and it was the final straw. So within 2 weeks, I was no longer with my fiance. I was single. I was booked on to a 3-year homeopathy course. And I'd also applied and got within a month a new job within the ambulance service that was a management role. So within like a month of me going, do you know what, universe? I have had enough. I am most definitely ready to change. I'm going to stop talking about it and I'm going to start doing it. So that was where my path started with homeopathy. I'd already done massage classes and got qualifications, but it was the confidence. And then my little lovely lady, Scarlett, came along, and that gave me the confidence and the, what can I say it? The kind of love and respect for my body that I had produced an amazing child. Oh my God. That human bodies could do that. It's like the realization of miracles. And then how long, Carole, have you been doing bars for?
I first learnt in 2012.
Yes, because I started to hear about it only maybe 18 months ago. And I started to go for myself because I was overthinking. I was confused about relationships and about business, and everything was going round in my head. And it was confusing and I couldn't focus and it was too much. And then I had my bars run, and it was like having a clear head again, like the clouds had been removed and I could see the blue sky. So I started going, as you know, to have my bars run, and then I started to learn as well. And now you and I get to meet up a couple of times a month and run each other's bars.
which I mean, that's the gifting and receiving is one of the things I love about it as well, because like you, it gives me a clearer head. And a nephew who I tried it on, I did his bars for him, and he said it's like opening a drawer and clearing out all the old letters.
Yeah. Yes, that is a good analogy. Now, can you explain what running your bars is? Because it makes no sense, does it? There's nothing in the title that can link to what it means. So could you explain to the viewers and the all my members, like, what is having your bars run?
Right. Trying to put it simply so that people understand it. And the bars are 32 points on your head. And each of those points relate to different things. So you have ones that relate to money, you have ones that relate to joy. So, 32 different things. And having
and those points, they can also be called like acupressure points, meridian points. Yeah, EFT points.
Yes.
Just so some of my clients know about those ones so they can link them in.
Yeah, super. Because the bars does tap in using the tap in.
It does tap
into that energy, and running the bars is like a practitioner like you or myself or many of the other hundreds of people that are coming to bars now, just doing a very simple process on the head of touching these various points. And touching the points activates them.
Mm-hmm.
And the energies that it activates then help clear out all of muck and stuff and points of view and beliefs about ourselves that might be holding us back.
Yeah.
So it helps that clearing out process. Just by having, and the client, call them,
that is brilliant.
They don't actually have to do anything, just lie or sit there and have the person touch their head, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, that's good, because when I turned to, trying out having my bars run, that was one of the draws for me, that I was sick of dragging up the past events, talking about them again, discussing them, seeing what came up. I just wanted to go somewhere and be healed. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's what the bars do. So what would you say?
It helps unlock you from all those limitations and those negative thoughts and those negative emotions that you might have, that you're carrying around with you. And it's crazy. It seems crazy that just by touching a few points on the head, but then anyone that does acupuncture or other energy that uses acupressure points will know about the unblocking. And that's what the bars does. It helps unblock.
Brilliant. What's the one question that what's the one question people always ask you?
Right. Other than what on earth is the bars?
Yeah. Hopefully we've explained that well.
Yes, hopefully they've explained that. And one of the questions I often get asked, and especially from a friend that has known me for donkey's years, and he calls me Mr. Micawber. So anyone that knows their Dickens knows about Mr. Micawber, and Mr. Micawber always looks on the bright side of things. So people often wonder and ask how I can be so calm and so together, and just always looking on the bright side of things. And people, they don't always understand that. And I think running my bars or having my bars run helps me do that.
And you have had tough times, and you've got through them by having that attitude, haven't you?
Oh, most definitely, yes. Because one of the things that took me away from bars was 4 or 5-ish years ago. I got very, very ill, and I was at a stage where my body just was not responding. And then 2, 3 years ago, I broke my ankle, which is when I came back to bars. And, getting rid of all of the negativity around those things happening helps keep me in a good place.
Brilliant. What would you say your one mission in life is?
Oh, this is going to sound so cheesy, but
we love a bit of cheese.
One of our expressions in Access Consciousness is all life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Well, part of my mission in life is to help people come to that joy, and through the things that I do, through the therapies that I do, is to help people find themselves, get rid of any negativity that is enshrouding them, and help them come to that joy.
That is a lovely mission to have. So our next question would be, what have you learned that you wish everybody knew?
Oh, there's a few things that I've learned.
Yeah.
And one of them, there's a book title, can't remember the author now, but is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is, what's the point of sweating the small stuff? So that's one of the things I've learned. Another thing I've learned is not to take on the negativity of other people that can bring you down, because often we can be like sponges. And we really don't want to soak that up. So, protect yourself from that. And also, another thing I've learned, and I suspect this goes back to school days and days when I was attempting to be an actor and all of those, is to not believe all of the negative, or what they say, constructive criticism people have about you, and to always sort of think about it and question
the Access little saying? Because Access to Consciousness, which is the broader title for bars reading, body process, energetic facelift, there's lots of other ones, they have many sentences, almost like chants or mantras, we could call them. So what's the one that basically asks the universe, is this my stuff or is this somebody else's? Yeah. What?
Yeah. Is this my stuff? Is it someone else's? Send it back.
Yes. Send it back with love, don't we say?
Yes, most definitely with love.
Yeah. And what would be the one thing, so that all of those bits you'd like to pass on to everybody else, how can you do that with bars, like with the bars, the Access to Consciousness, sayings, mantras? How do you pass that information on to others?
Well, I think you've said it there in the words consciousness, access consciousness, because what the bars helps people to be is more conscious. But I do love, though, what else is possible?
Yes.
That is one of the sayings I do love from Access, is what else is possible? If something good's happening, what else is possible?
What else is possible?
And also that, how does it get any better than that?
Yes.
And it's as you and I know, Jane, it's about kind of remaining in the question of it, not looking for the answer, but being in the question of it and letting the possibilities just open up for you, because your brain will do that.
And the sentence, how does it get any better than this? That one helped me a lot, because when you're in a low state, when you're in a low energetic state, the negative chitter chatter in your brain, the volume is turned right up. So when you see a situation, you immediately go to the negative and you start, oh, well, this is wrong, that's wrong, that. But with that beautiful sentence, how does it get any better than this? Oh, it opens the doors up to possibilities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than saying, oh, well, is this as good as it gets? Doors closed.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I like, the opening up of possibilities.
Opening up. Yes. And being conscious. Can you think of any more of their fab sayings? And then I've got our last... I've got some questions, and we'll see if we've got any questions from Facebook.
Yeah. Well, one of the ones that came to mind just as you were asking there is the one that quite often fries my brain. And if I remember it rightly, is everything is the opposite of what it is. Nothing is the opposite of what it is. And it's like, duh.
Yeah. And I kind of said that this morning to one of my massage clients. I can't remember what we were talking about, but I was like, do you know, nobody's perfect. And then I went, but everybody's perfect. She's kind of looking at me going, and then it dawned on her and she went, yes, that's true. Because we are all absolutely perfect miracle beings, but none of us are perfect.
Yeah. And isn't that wonderful? That we're all perfect, yet we're not perfect.
We're not perfect.
Yeah, because that's another of the things that I love about the Access is some of those statements which really fry your brain, and you don't have to have an answer for them. You just let it sit there.
Yeah. And explain as well. So when you're lying down, so basically, I'm going to be the client, and you're going to be a bars practitioner. So I come into the therapy room, whatever, and then what I'm going to do is I lie on the massage couch, lying on my back. I've got some nice blankets over me. I'm really cozy. Might have a little pillow under my head. And you're sat behind me, aren't you?
Yeah. And
just talk us through the process of what happens next.
Right. Well, for those of your viewers that know about energy work, what the practitioner would do would be to start drawing the energy. So for me, that's like opening up the body and letting the energies flow within the body. So we do that for a few moments. And like you and I have done in the past, we might ask each other what the person particularly wants to focus on or not focus on.
Yeah.
And see if we can come up with a clearing statement on that.
And those clearing statements are they clear the energy, is that right?
Yes, they help clear the energy so that I think that kind of starts shifting the thoughts and beliefs that might be stored in the brain. So it starts shifting those and helps to clear them. Yes. And I guess that's why it's called a clearing statement.
Yes, it would be. And from my personal experience of being the client, when you've asked me something like, you know, what are we going to work on today, Jane? I'll be like, oh, I'd like to clear all of the indecisiveness that I've got around what I'm going to do with my business or something like that. Or I'd like to clear all of the negative memories I've got about a certain relationship that keep popping up. And
so we can simply come up with one of the simplest is, so what would it take, or what energies would it take, or what negativity would it take, or whatever would it take to help clear your mind and allow the creative juices to flow freely and easily.
And then I say, that's the question. I agree. Yes.
Yes. Are you willing to destroy and uncreate?
Yes. I am willing to destroy and uncreate.
Yes. And then we go into the access consciousness, well, the bars clearing statement of, and we don't need to explain this to your viewers, but right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, because it would take quite a long time to explain all of that. Or we can just say pod and pock, which is point of pock and pod, or point of creation, point of destruction. So wherever we created, then we can destroy.
And a lot of my viewers, I've taught how to do EFT anyway. So with the pod and pock statement, it's very similar. It basically kind of, I would say, confuses the brain.
Yes.
And it dissipates those negative emotions, limiting beliefs, etc. You're talking to source energy, whether you call that God or universe or source or whatever you want to call it. That's the energy we're tuned into, isn't it?
It is.
And we ask for it to go. We do our clearing statements, we pod and pocket, and sometimes you can even feel the tingling of the body and like the release.
Yes, because we will hold each points for maybe 10ish minutes each, and as you say, you can actually feel the tingling. Sometimes there's a heat, sometimes there's a coldness, but quite often one point might be tingling a lot more than others. So that gives an idea that those energies really are working.
Yes. And if the person doesn't feel any energy, any kind of sensations, is that okay too?
Yes, that's perfectly okay, because what Gary and Dane say is, the worst that can happen is you feel you've had a good massage. If that's the worst that can happen, how does it get any better than that?
Yes.
And the best that can happen is you clear out a whole load of junk, and your life can change in so many different ways.
Yes, definitely.
But it doesn't matter if people themselves don't feel the energy. The bars is still running.
Yes. And Gary and Dane Gary is the founder, and then Dane came along, I don't know how many years later, but they're a team, and they promote and create everything to do with access consciousness. That's their
Yes, they do. Yeah. And your viewers can always find Dane on YouTube if they wish to learn more about Dane.
I will put a couple of links in about the bars and about access consciousness, and also how they can get in contact with you and with
you.
Both of us. Well, we're a team. We're going to be putting on some
we're going to be putting on some trainings.
So definitely I will be sharing that with everybody. So these are our three kind of final questions, and we've got plenty of time to answer them. So, as you know, my coaching business is called Cherish, Transform, Upgrade.
Yes.
So the reason it's evolved to that is because when I look back on my journey, the first bit I needed to do was cherish myself. So hence, like, put the party lifestyle kind of over here. Thank you. It was great fun. Some of it wasn't. Lots of it was though. And look to the future about like, what did I actually want to cherish? My mind, my soul, my body.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, lots of it was to do with food, diet, exercise, movement, the kind of people I was hanging out with, who did I want to hang out with, who was going to inspire me. All of that kind of stuff was all about cherishing myself.
Yeah.
And then the transformation kind of, that came on slowly, because when you stop just talking about something and you make a decision to do it, your life transforms. So as soon as I started cherishing myself, my life started to transform. And after it transforms, and you kind of get used to that, it's like, okay, well, I've been flying economy and now I'm flying business. I want to fly first class, in my life.
I love it.
So that's kind of that's where my title, my business name comes from. So how do you cherish yourself?
Okay, one of the ways in which I cherish myself, a very good friend, you know her, Catherine Lovewell.
Yeah.
She runs a meditation every morning on Zoom. So I join in with the morning's meditation because that is about looking after myself.
Yes.
Yes. Other ways in which I cherish myself is I love walking in nature. I'm very, very close to Mitcham Common, which is a beautiful space. Yeah. And even my local crematorium is a beautiful space.
Oh, yes, they are. I sounds weird, but I spent a lot of time in graveyards as a child. Just going on walks and things like that and reading. You know, if we were in the countryside, you pass the church, you go into the graveyard and stuff.
Because they're usually very, very peaceful places.
They are.
Not crowded. And so to cherish myself, I will go and I'll take a walk, especially if the sun's shining, because I love the sunshine. And I'm lucky in that I don't live in a mansion. I live in a 2 up, 2 down. But the energy here is really lovely. So sometimes I can just sit quietly, letting the sun shine through the windows and just being. Just being. And that's how I cherish myself.
That's beautiful. Really beautiful. What would be, say, 3 top tips to the members about cherishing themselves? What would be your kind of 3 go-to, I know everybody's different, but what would be your, say, 3 top ones that you could pass on to somebody else? Would it be, try out bars? What would it be?
Well, most certainly, because the first step in the bars is having your bars run by a practitioner.
Yeah.
So they now know that you and I do it. Yes. That is a way of looking after yourself by letting somebody else look after you. Cherish yourself, have a massage, have your bars run, that sort of thing. Unlike you, I've not looked after my body so well, but I've recently come across Pilates. So again, another tip would be find something that's good for your body that you thoroughly enjoy doing.
Yes.
So I know you like to go to the gym.
I don't actually. I run. I just run to school.
You run.
So I used to go to the gym. I used to have a personal trainer, and Scarlett is my personal trainer now. Yeah. So she goes on her scooter, and I didn't want to be one of those mums that kept on going, stop, slow down, stop. blah, blah, blah. So I just put a pair of running shoes on, and instead I'm like, okay, go a little bit faster, please.
Oh, brilliant. I like that.
You can do it. You can do it. Let's go. So I jog, and that's what keeps me fit. And when I do go to the gym, I don't actually go upstairs to the gym. I swim, sauna, jacuzzi, steam room, and that's my meditation and self-love. Yeah. Because you were spot on in saying you've got to find something that you love and also fits into your lifestyle.
Yes. And you take Scarlett to school every day, so that's a really lovely, easy way.
It's so easy
doing your running. And I mean, I can put a DVD on to do my Pilates. Although I do love going to the class.
The classes as well, for the social aspect as well.
The social aspect, and our tutor is just absolutely wonderful. That's Debbie. So looking after your body by doing some form of exercise, it doesn't have to be anything strenuous, but to
movement,
to your body, just
move your body, wiggle your hips.
Yes. Because that's another thing people often ask me. They say, you've got a car, why don't you use it? And one of the main reasons I don't use my car as often is it forces me to go out and walk.
Yes. And then you're in the moment and you love it.
Yeah. So, and what will my third one be? This might be built on a reading that I got at the Mystic Fair the other weekend. And I can't remember all of my reading because it was a very, very long reading. But it was have fun.
And that is what Access Consciousness is all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I first kind of met you guys and met Paula, I met Paula ages ago through Forever Living, but I was like, wow, you guys are like really happy all the time. I don't know whether I can cope. But it's wonderful. You're happy, you're fun, you get led by your excitement.
Yeah.
It's how life should be.
And it's not, I mean, it is okay not to be fun 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But it's, live in the moment. What's happening in the next 10 minutes? Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's dance for joy.
Definitely. I haven't had a morning rave in here for a while. I might do that tomorrow morning. In my kitchen with Scarlett, we love doing that.
That sounds a good, fun idea.
It is good fun. I'll do a live stream and show you how fun it is. So how have you transformed, going to the Cherish Transformed upgrade?
Yeah.
You know how you cherish yourself. How have you transformed yourself?
That's quite a difficult one to really put my finger on, but I think I've transformed in that I believe the universe is always going to look after me, because in my brilliant years, it always has done.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the ways that are, totally obvious, but the universe has always looked after me. And so just by being transformed in, I didn't always have a great idea. I'm not the tallest person, I'm not the thinnest person, I'm not the most attractive person, but I'm a good person, I'm a lovely person. So I've transformed in my belief about myself. That I hate to bring the L'Oreal advert in, but I am worth it and I am worthy. And it took me quite a few years to get to that self-acceptance. So I think that's the way in which I've transformed. And again, the bars, helping get rid of all of that stuff that you carry with you, helps cement that belief.
Definitely. And how have you upgraded your life?
I live in a very modest 2 up, 2 down terraced house. But I do own every brick of it, which is good. And I've upgraded my life by, I think, a lot of the people that I have in my life.
Yeah.
Most of the people, I would say, in the 90% are energy workers of some description, and they bring a joy to my life. So I've upgraded my life by the people that I have in it, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And I always say, like, cherishing, transforming, and upgrading your life has nothing to do with money. It's about your energy. I mean, the money will come.
Yeah.
The money will come, but it's about our energy, who we hang out with, how much fun and enjoyment that we can have in life, isn't it?
Yeah. I agree with you, Jane. It's not about how much money you have in your pocket or in the bank account. It's the people and the joy you have in your life. And that is in fact priceless.
Yes, it is. Oh, thank you. I've had a lovely hour on here live with you.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you for inviting me.
Fun. That's good. I'm very pleased. And we're going to do this again in, say, 14 weeks' time. Because we've got about 14 of you lovely, wonderful, epic energy workers that are coming on and doing an interview and just sharing your skills and your knowledge within this group.
I'll be tuning in next week and for 13 weeks to see the others.
Good, brilliant. And for all of you that can't join it live, or you've just joined us live and you're like, oh, they're finishing. Well, it's going to be staying in the Facebook group. So the recording is there. It will take a while to upload directly. Like when I click end this, it will take a while to upload into Facebook, but it will be there saved so you can listen to the whole hour interview. You can hear all about how to run your bars, where to get them done. We'll put links underneath. And how it can change your life without you having to drag up the past. It can clear that negative chitter chatter in your head, get you focused. I have to say, since doing it, I've been doing various things for the last 6 odd months, but I feel and look younger.
You do.
I do, don't I?
You do.
I even I was having a bit of crow's feet and I was like, but I honestly feel and look younger. And you and I have been doing bar swap every other week, probably since about October.
Yeah.
I've also been going to the sauna and using coconut oil instead of other products, just going really back to basics.
Yeah.
And I feel and look a lot younger.
Amazing.
It makes you younger, doesn't it, having your bars run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people, as you know, we know when we've had classes with other people, and they are glowing.
Yeah.
Once they've had their bars run.
I've seen a few before and after photos, and sometimes having your bars run can shave 5 years off. You can look 5 years younger, can't you?
I think I need a few more to catch up with your 39 years.
But
because remember, when I said I just did not believe that you were 39 coming on 40, because you have an exceptionally youthful appearance, and bars can
and the
have
same
that.
for you. Because we found out the both at the same time. We were like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you don't need to go under the scalpel, viewers. Come and have your bars run.
Go and have your bars run, and you'll have no wrinkles. Don't quote me on that because I'll probably get barred or something. All right. Making false claims. Okay, I am going to end it at there. Thank you so much, Carole.
Thank you, Jane.
Mwah.
Namaste.
Namaste. Love ya.
And you. Bye.